stronger up in the middle. And the Jaguars were able to acquire Eric Armstead. Big, long, and strong, and a reunion of sorts. He was a first-round pick when Trent Baalke was the GM in San Francisco. Reminds me a little bit of Calais Campbell because he has that big, long, and strong frame. In my opinion, the Armstead signing for this Jaguars defense is exactly what they need.
Jeff Lageman on Jaguars.com. It's 83 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention. Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time. What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
I look around and I see nothing but experts, authority, and opinions. That's all we've got right here inside the studio. Big Searcy, he's an expert. He's an authority. He's got opinions. Matt Hayes, I think you all know, he has those. And Coach Campo as well, as he's hanging out with us early in the 2 o'clock hour. Normally we would have a Tuesday visit with him to launch the 2 o'clock hour, but now it's the launch of XL Primetime. Welcome in, Coach. You ready to rock and roll?
Absolutely. I'm excited. This is a new thing for me.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And so we figured when Coach comes rolling in on Tuesdays, most of the time it'll be Tuesday and Friday, our weekly visits with our head coach. And we just cranked out a Campo and Joe podcast as well. And so we're going to kind of drive down draft lane every time Coach is here. And obviously everybody out there listening, you guys want to talk draft? You want to talk Jaguars? I'm pretty sure you do. And we're going to be counting it down. We've got a couple different things that we want to get into starting tomorrow. The 17th pick is what the Jacksonville Jaguars have. We're going to give you every 17th pick the last 17 years and kind of see what you guys think about those. So we'll get into that starting tomorrow. But today, we figured we'd ask you guys with our XLP Big Three what you think the 3 most important draft positions are. And you can take it from there, Big Searcy, because we're all going to have different opinions on this bad boy. But you got 3 things that you think by Friday night they need to have dealt with a good draft pick. Kind of set us up what's going through your brain.
Listen, essentially, I think that the 3 most important positions in the NFL, if you were to look at them, is first, quarterback is first. All right, you got to have a quarterback, especially in this quarterback-driven league. We don't need that. We already got one established here in Jacksonville, all right? Next is left tackle, all right? Left tackle is the premium position out of the offensive line. You know, essentially, it was attributed to the fact that Lawrence Taylor made the left tackle position essential because of the blind side of the quarterback. Because he was that destructive. That's what it was. You had to have a big athletic guy. And then third would be a pass rusher, an elite pass rusher who can disrupt a game, that can get after the quarterback, that can cause confusion, that you got a game plan. But that's my position. As far as the Jaguars go, if I was to look at the Jaguars' Big Three, what they should be looking at right now? I'm still not selling the offensive line.
Okay.
I will go O-line. I will go.
So that's your number one.
That's my number one. Okay. I'm still not set with the guards. I mean, we seem to be set with the guards with Sheriff and Ezra Cleveland and moving forward. So I will go offensive guard. Then I will go defensive tackle.
Okay.
I think that we need a guy at defensive tackle that can stop the run and get after the passer. I know we brought in Armstead. You know, he's a commodity. He's valuable. And then third, I will go cornerback. If we can get us a man coverage cornerback with the style of defense that we're going to be playing, I think those will be my big 3 for the Jaguars, in my opinion.
All right, Coach, you heard him lay it out. He went offensive line. You've both you and Matt, like Matt used to have mad quarterback love. Now he's got mad big man love. So we're going to get his big 3. But what are your big 3?
Well, I'm with Leon on the first one for sure. I think you can't do enough big guys, and they're hard to find. And with the situation right now where Cam Robinson might be up in the air, you're not quite sure. I'm not excited about moving a guy over necessarily. But at the same time, I think that you can't get enough. If there's one there, I'm taking that. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to go a little bit different when I say that I think Armstead coming in with the defensive line gives us a pretty good situation there because I think he's got a couple of years left. So I'm going to put two in one position. I'm going with a skill guy, either a corner or a receiver. And my thoughts there are, number one, the corner position is something that we really need. But on the other side of the coin, my philosophy has always been take somebody that helps you score points, that's going to score points for you. So now you're looking at, with the offensive tackle, you're protecting the quarterback. So you're helping them score points. With a wide receiver, if there's one there that has the same grades, I'm going to take the guy that gives us a chance to go into the end zone. And then my number three would be that this is a very, very short pass rush group.
Right. Not a lot.
There's not a lot in there. So if there's a guy there that, like a Jared Verse, I'm going to probably go with that position in that situation.
It's always good to see you guys have come around to Team Hayes. It's always good to see that.
The big man group.
The
big man support group.
And I'll say it again, guard, baby. But I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay? I understand that. I'm not, as disappointed as I am by the fact that they clearly think they've got both their guards right now.
Yeah.
I think they're probably going to go. They're probably going to go corner or edge would be my best guess. But the way I look at it is, and we were talking about Zach Edey yesterday. Zach Edey's 7'4", 320 pounds. And on Saturday during the national semifinals, he's still going to be 7'4" and 320 pounds.
With 100-pound arms.
He's still going to be a load to deal with.
Yeah.
Those guys do not grow on trees, man.
Yeah, the only
You've got to get big guys when you can get them. And that's, if you're picking in the top 17 in the draft, which is essentially the first half of the draft, you have got to get the best big man available. I don't think they'll do that. But this team needs somebody dirty and nasty and willing to throw people around. That's what it needs. It needs a little attitude.
And look, I will not debate that at all because the more Searcy's you have in your world, especially when it comes to playing the game, the better off you are.
Yes.
That part I get. So
and retired as well.
Yeah. And then the next of your big three.
The next of my big three is going to be, I think it's also very clear that if we're looking at a 4-2-5, which is basically what we're talking about right now in this defense, all right? You're going to need another end.
Yeah.
You absolutely will need another end. And I Dave and I were talking about this last week. You, at the very least, you have to get an end that can not only look, you just don't want someone to come in there and give you like 10 or 15 plays. You better have somebody that, if in case, heaven forbid, Josh Allen gets hurt or Trayvon Walker gets hurt, you've got someone that can step in and give you 60 plays.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I think at 17, if a guy falls there, be it Verse, be it whoever, if Latu's still there, take him.
Yeah.
No. I was going to ask Matt real quick. So, Matt, those speed guys you're looking at, are these guys essentially 7s or 9s? What I mean by 7s is that they can get outside the tackle and be a technician and beat the guy. Mostly times 9s are wide guys that can speed rush and get around the corner.
Latu's more like Josh Allen, and I think that Jared Verse is more like Trayvon Walker.
That's it. I think that's exactly right.
Kind of what it looks like.
It's so funny because now it's crazy because I saw Jared Verse at the ACC kickoff, and I thought he was just a little more leaner. Trayvon's a big man, but maybe Jared Verse has put.
Well, he's not. I mean, Trayvon's like what, 275? He's not 275. He's like 265. But I mean, the thought process.
I got you. Okay.
Jared Verse is more your strong anchor end. Whereas Latu is your go get the quarterback.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking 5, 7s, or 9s. The 5, 7s, and 9s. Yeah. I mean, because the 5 and 7s.
I don't think Verse is a 5 either. He's probably a 7.
No.
And Latu's 7 or 9.
Yeah. He's a wide guy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There's no question about it because he will basically work with speed more than power, I would think. And all these guys have to learn what moves work when against guys like you. You can't just bull rush an NFL tackle like you might have been able to bull rush a college football tackle.
Reggie was always a 5.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Big man. All right, so
how you did that, man. Walking up the line of scrimmage and seeing that guy staring back.
So it's funny. My XLP Big 3 today, and you guys hit the text line 641-1010. You want to talk draft? See, the thing I love about April, like there have been people who have been talking about the draft for a long time, and look, we've dipped our toe in it here, there, but it's April, man, and we are going to talk draft as much as we possibly can leading up to what should be a real important decision for your Jacksonville Jaguars to get them back to the postseason. But you can move, like your target might move based on free agency. You had an idea of what your big 3 was going to be coming out of the season. Then they signed some guys, and then the decision to maybe go to the 4-man front has also changed your path. So I'm going interior defensive lineman still is my number 1 choice. I still believe it is neglected. It has been neglected, and if Devon Hamilton comes back and is healthy and Eric Armstead is there for another 1-2 years, whatever, then you're going to be solid. But by no means have you fixed the interior part of that defensive line. I'm still putting that number 1. And then I'm going to go over to the edge position because of what we all just talked about, the fact that there is no real depth there, and it is the second or third most important position on a football team. So you better not ignore it. And I'm actually going 3 defensive guys before Friday night. I'm going to go cornerback next because you have got to, if you start taking a look at the rest of the AFC, who you have to defend, how many guys in the pattern that you have to defend, I think cornerback is critical.
If you're playing the odds, the odds are the first 3 picks will absolutely be defense.
Yeah.
Those are the odds.
Yeah, and so that's how I'm looking at it because I'm trying to judge what I think they'll do and what they should do. You can marry them up any way you want. You guys can go to YouTube. You can search 1010XL. You can throw a comment up there. You got it right there, RJ? RJ's getting used to this. He's getting used to all this stuff as far as what we're doing. But you can go to YouTube, search 1010XL, and you can throw a comment there. You can hit the text line. Let us know what you think as far as these top 3 positions are concerned.
Well, here's the interesting thing. When you're talking about going an edge guy, you're hoping that the transition as far as the edge rushers is a lot more smoother when Josh Allen was here than was with Trayvon. Now, Trayvon, throughout the middle part of the season, I'm going to tell you what he was doing because our offensive lineman, I'm watching him. You know, first of all, offensive lineman, when he runs to the line of scrimmage, he's already got a spot he wants to pick where he feels that he's going to meet you. And a defensive player already has a spot where he wants to pick. And what's happening with Trayvon, especially the middle part of the season, he understood the parameters of which the offense, and then he out-executed the offensive lineman when they got to that spot. That was the key to him because we saw – early on in the season, it was just straight up bull.
Yeah.
But now it was more. It was more arm bars, slapping hands, twist, all that kind of stuff. So he understood after a while that once he gets to that spot, he gets to his spot, that it's about out-executing and getting around the guy. That's where he transitions so much better after that. Now, Josh Allen, I mean, he had that from
he had it already.
He had it already.
Right,
So you're hoping that wherever you
right.
draft at 17, if it is an edge guy, you're hoping the transition is as fast as Josh Allen was than it was
right
Trayvon.
Here. It's right here. You know, that's why I always felt that Trayvon was going to develop because he was smart and he's a hard worker. So I knew that it was just a matter of time before he would start to come around.
And then credit Bill Shuey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, he's the only guy they kept on
the
defense. Yeah, exactly.
And so that guy did some good work as far as because that's the evolution. That's what you're looking for. All right, so you guys jump in. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota, they bring you today's show. We say thanks to them. And I tell you what, they're there every single day, there to wow you, except for Sundays. They make sure they give everybody Sunday off so they can enjoy it. But you can log on anytime. You can see the great lineup of SUVs, pickup trucks, sedans, economy, luxury, you name it. I'm tooling around my brand new NASCAR Camry. I absolutely love it. So check it out, BeaverToyotaSt.Augustine.com or BeaverChevrolet.com. Now, they bring the X-Pole. So, RJ, did you design the X-Pole? I know you're trying to, you're pulling this bad boy together, aren't you?
Yes, I am. So we should have it up by the time we get back.
Okay, so we're just going to ask you for the big 3, what you think the big 3 are as far as the positions of concern for your Jacksonville Jaguars. So we'll throw that out coming up in just a bit. We got Coach for another seg before he heads out, so we'll stay on your Jacksonville Jaguars. And then right at the end, we may sneak in that one little story that Derrick Henry had about Nick Saban. It's a good one. We got to get to that coming up as well. It is XL Primetime.
cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Ready? I'm... Wait for it!
This is 1010XL.
Fire!
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Ready for a heating and air company that's just as local as your favorite coffee shop? That's Bold City Heating and Air. Jacksonville grown, family owned and operated, and not bought out by the out-of-town big guys. And with transparent pricing, you'll know the costs up front, with options to choose from, backed by Bold City's satisfaction guarantee. And rest assured, Bold City Techs will treat your home with white glove service. You can be comfortable today. Visit boldcityac.com.
Hicken here. The Borland Groover Foundation proudly presents the annual March to Get Screened 5K race and 1 mile fun run. Sunday, April 14th. The race starts at 7 a.m. under the Fuller Warren Bridge. Their mission, raise awareness about colorectal cancer and related deaths. All proceeds benefit the Borland Groover Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Hey, Glenn here with B&B Oil. Do you have equipment that needs fuel? We can service any size event, from a small wedding with a generator in a tight spot to large construction sites with multiple pieces of large equipment. We deliver all types of fuel and lubricants. We also have fuel tanks from 200 gallons to 2,000 gallons. And we can get larger if needed. So give us a call today or find us online at bb-oil.com. bb-oil.com.
Mia here. Looking to spruce up your home or business for the spring? Window Gang's exterior cleaning services will remove stubborn stains, restore windows to a clear shine, and ensure your gutters flow freely. Call 262-7300 for a free estimate.
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Is this true? Who are you?
1010XL.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Hey, Jess, want to come for a ride on my motorcycle? You know, we can talk about our feelings and explore our emotional compatibility.
I thought you'd never ask.
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive, and you could use the savings to make sure the motorcycle is always ready for your dream girl. So keep the dream alive and the savings coming with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
An ACL tear can be a devastating injury with prolonged pain and rehabilitation. Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari. I'm a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon who grew up right here in Jacksonville and then went on to train with the world-renowned Dr. James Andrews. At Bari Orthopedics, we use the most current techniques to get you back in the field with less pain and quicker rehabilitation. We treat all types of sports injuries with the newest techniques available. Please call us for consultation or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Bianna's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know Prime Roofing manufactures, fabricates, and installs their metal roofs? If you're thinking about a metal roof, think Prime Roofing. Schedule an estimate today at PrimeRoofingFL.com. That's PrimeRoofingFL.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
Hanging out on a beautiful Tuesday, thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. They got it cranking every single day of the week, except for that Sunday that they give all their hard workers off. But make sure you drop on by and check out either one of the lots on Phillips for Beaver Chevrolet and in the AUG on US 1 for Beaver Toyota. St. Augustine. We got Coach Campo for one more seg before we ship him off. Coach, you got a little crick in your neck. Dr. Jimbo Fisher would diagnose that. He goes, he's got a crick in his neck. I know what's wrong with him, but hopefully you're going to get a little relief.
Listen,
I hope.
They just told me I had an old, ugly C7. Okay. That's all they had to say. Then I got to work on it.
Did you look at him and tell him to suck it at that point?
Yeah. Listen, look, if I had to play today, I would play. Mm-hmm. That's all I can tell you. Right. But at the same time, if I don't have to play today, I'm going to try to get it worked out to where it feels a little bit better.
All right, off the text line, we've been talking draft. You guys can hit us 641-1010. And I put 3 defensive guys out there. So off the text line, if you go 3 straight picks on defense and Trevor struggles again, this fan base will absolutely mutiny. And they may not be wrong. I do think the defense needs to be not massively overhauled, but the very important positions that have been largely ignored either by fails in the draft or just by whatever. They went out and got Ronald Darby to come in. He has an injury history. Mm-hmm. They went and obviously have Tyson Campbell, who came off late season injuries that really affected his play down the stretch. We know Devon Hamilton was not – he was basically Ham last year because he was nowhere near 100%. And you have a meniscus injury with Eric Armstead. These are all real, man. And then if you take a look at not having enough depth at the defensive end position, at least I could argue that. But we can argue the texture's point. If you don't protect Trevor and Trevor gets knocked around again, they might mutiny.
Yeah, but they've made their decision on the O-line. It's done. They've made that decision.
For the here and now,
I think you and you said it doesn't need to be overhauled, the defense. Well, it needs to be significantly upgraded. I can tell you that.
Yes, it does.
This is a big year for Tyson Campbell. A big year for Cisco.
Yep.
It's a big year for guys in that defense. For Darby.
Yeah.
I know he's a free agent signing. He's got to play the whole season. If he doesn't,
got to be healthy.
Or is he? Or are you picking corner at 17 and that's your other starter, right? So this is a big year for Devin Lloyd. Big year. This is show it year right here, man. Do you got it? Can you be the kind of guy that they trade back in the first round to get?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I think you got to supplement those guys all over that defense because you are going to need guys on that unit that give you more pop than what you had last year.
Yeah.
They did not look like a top half of the league defense in the last, 7-8 games last year.
That's when everything kind of got exposed. It really did, either not getting together meetings-wise or effort-wise.
Here's where you run into the problem when you talk about a skill guy, whether it's a receiver or a cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's an issue because if you get a cornerback, he may take and I'm talking about an outstanding cornerback, a guy that goes in the first round,
an outside corner
that turns into being a really pretty darn good defensive back. And a great receiver like Chase or one of those guys, the cornerback might make 2 Pro Bowls in his career.
Right.
Because he intercepts 6 or 7 passes one year. The next year he intercepts 2. The next year he intercepts 7. The receiver that's that same guy is doing it every single year that he's there. Yeah. That's my thing about taking a guy that can score points for you as compared to the defense.
All right, let me throw this at you.
Guy. I'd love a corner.
Okay,
I don't have any problem.
So let me throw this at you. What are your odds of having the bigger bust, at receiver or corner? You know it. Just say it. Search your heart. It's receiver. You know it
is.
Yes,
it is.
Yeah, it probably
yes,
is.
It is.
Yes. So, I mean, I think it's – you have to – how do you not look at that when you're picking there?
Yeah,
how do you not look at, all right, we've got to hit. It can't be like Brian Thomas, who you think could be really good. Mm-hmm. He's also got bust potential too.
Yeah, let's make this the 10-10 take right now, and then Big Sirs follow this because, honestly, they have got to hit. If they don't hit, there's going to be, like the texter said, it's going to be mutiny.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pit masters since 68.
However you spell it, hunger pangs are real. And at 2:30 in the afternoon, you probably are starting to think about dinner. Well, start thinking about Sonny's. You can head to any one of your area Sonny's. You can pick it up to go, head home, and enjoy a delicious rack of ribs, chicken, pork, turkey, whatever it might be, along with all those other sides. For lunch, for dinner, for anything, just remember Sonny's for some great barbecue. So basically, as you lay it out, Matt says you got to hit on it. All right, well, Trent Baalke went 1 for 3 in the first 3 rounds last year. And this is what we're talking about. Thursday night and Friday night, what are the 3 biggest positions this team needs to hit on to make sure they are a better football team? Well, he got 1 right, and he got 1 right by default. Anton Harrison, because of Cam's suspension, became a major priority, and they drafted him, and he played the entire year. Excellent pick. The other 2, they were fails. If you're looking at first year's contributions, neither one of them, Brenton Strange or Tank Bigsby, nowhere near delivered for a second or third round pick. So that means he was 2/3 with a fail, 1/3 with a success. That's the 10-10 take. That cannot happen.
Well, I mean, if you look at this franchise over the last decade, I mean, will you miss on as many as you hit? I mean, it kills your franchise. You look over the last decade, all the misses that this Jacksonville Jaguar organization has. You can't do that. I mean, essentially, those guys are supposed to be starters. Your first, your second, or third rounds. They got to be impactful in some capacity.
Yeah.
You know, they got to be playmakers in some capacity. And last year, I saw Anton Harrison. I mean, all the other guys, you can't call them busts because they were rookies, but hell, Brent Strange had more penalties than he had catches. Tank Bigsby had more turnovers than he had rush attempts. I mean, it was just crazy. You couldn't have that kind of stuff. You can't have that. It kills your franchise. But just like the draft, the first round of the draft, man, it's like Vegas. If you ever played craps or you played the roulette, you say you bet on black and you roll, you never know.
No, you don't.
You absolutely never know. So, I mean, it's a gamble, no matter how you look at it.
It is, but I also think it's less of a gamble if you're taking a defensive player. It just is. Because the offensive skill, it's rare.
But
it's the guys that become the elite, those Jamar Chase guys, that's rare. It just doesn't happen.
But, okay, you're absolutely right. But when it comes to a defensive guy or cornerback, you can hide him.
You can.
You can hide. You can. You know his limitations. You know his strengths. As a defensive coordinator, you can hide him and disguise him. But with a wide receiver, he's out there.
There's no disguising him.
There's no disguising him. Absolutely.
I will tell you this: if you look at their offense, honestly, they've got their swing tackle with Walker Little, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They've got 4 guards. They've been very clear about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So if Zay Jones is healthy, and there's no reason to think he won't be. They've got their 4 receivers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they've got Cooks, and they've got Parker Washington.
It makes that room less.
And they've got 3 tight ends, okay? My whole point is this. They got 2 running backs. They're not picking on offense. I'm telling you right now they're not. They might pick a guard late in the round. They're going defense.
Yeah, or if the big OL falls.
You know what? Here's the problem I have with the Jaguars. I think they're still in 22. I really do,
bro. 22 is better than 23.
I know, absolutely, right, but I'm saying that there's been no real overhaul on anything. You even said it. You said the 22 wide receiving core without a number 1 was way better than it had Calvin Ridley. All those,
more consistent.
More consistent. All you have to do is keep those guys healthy. Maybe they're thinking the same thing. Maybe
I'm sure
they're thinking the same thing.
If Zay Jones is healthy, I'd rather have him than what you're going to pick at 17 receiver.
The only thing that might make you consider what Coach said earlier, that weapon that can score for you, is that they were making a play to keep Calvin. And then there was the aftermath of not being able to keep him, the chase for Ayuk, which makes you think they still want to add to that room.
Right. That's my whole point. I mean, and again, just remember, for every bust, there's a C.J. Henderson as well. I mean, it's like Leon just said, it's a crapshoot in a way. It's subjective.
One of the 4 of us at this table said he was going to be a great player. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say who it was.
Hey,
listen,
it was the guy who used to be an NFL head coach.
I busted that one for sure.
I might have shared in that.
No, that's my.
Listen,
I'm playing with you, but that's my point. You don't know.
You don't know.
So here's the example. A number 9 pick overall, top 10 defensive back failed in C.J. Henderson. The first pick of the second round in Tyson Campbell has stuck around and has looked pretty good. The number 2 overall pick in Luke Jokel, an absolute fail. gone. See ya. Goodbye. First contract, no more.
That was your fault.
And then
y'all calling him Baby Baselli. I knew that was it.
was just
that was a death wish right there.
As soon as you compare
right out the gate, I say he's gone.
Yeah.
And so then you go from the number 2 overall pick, and then you go to Anton Harrison or Jawan Taylor for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
They were at the very least right now. Anton Harrison looks like a plug-in. Don't worry about him, guy. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty good. All right, RJ, throw out the X poll right now, just so we can give some of our prime timers a chance to get in.
Yes, the XL Primetime X poll presented by Beaver Chevy. Give us your top 3 positions of need for the Jaguars' first 3 draft picks. A question right now on X.
All right, all you got to do is hit reply. Give us some of your responses. Where you want them to go.
We used to call them nooners.
Yeah.
Well, we should start calling them twofers now because twofer's better than a nooner.
Well, yeah, I don't mind a twofer. I'm going to call them prime timers, but I don't mind that at all. Like
twofers.
Remember you would have Tuesday twofers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The ARF back in the day. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, we'll come up with something.
It's not what I was talking about, but that's fine.
Yeah. Early happy hour is kind of what I'm envisioning as well. All right, off the text line, and you guys can go to X and give us your top picks. But off the text line, Latu, 17th overall. Ennis Rakestraw, who I definitely like, 48th overall. And then Jermaine Burton. He's an interesting cat. I don't know what to do with him, actually. But he's 96. So that would be rush in, cornerback, wide receiver as their top 3 picks. Now, Tez Walker is a guy that they got their eyes on. And Tez could be in that Jermaine Burton 96 slot. He easily could be.
Give me that bust slot, too.
So you worried about him?
Yeah, of course.
I like
Same
Tez.
with Jermaine Burton. So Jermaine Burton, 75% of me thinks he's going to be a bust. But then the other 25% thinks he can run.
He could do it all.
Yeah, he can run.
Yeah.
He can make plays when the ball's got to him.
just tell you
Last year in
something.
Alabama, and last year the quarterback was developing as the season moved along.
Listen, I'm not being facetious here, but if Trent Baalke doesn't make it, I think Matt Hayes is our next GM for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm serious. I like how you look at things.
And look, it's not an easy business. It's a business designed for you to fail more than you succeed.
Yeah, and I don't want to be a GM. I picked C.J. Henderson, so
Yeah.
I'm out of that business.
Well, heck, I love the man cover skills. I really thought he was going to be good. But for every big man that you go out and get, there's one that's good, that plays the position well, and there's another one that doesn't. Same thing with the wide receiver. You can go on and on and on down the line. Heck, we've done number one overall picks, and it's a coin flip. It really is.
I'll be honest with you, though. I think if you've got an offensive tackle that is big, physical, tough, and is a good athlete, you're not going to bust on that guy. There's not very many. There's not a lot of them. They're going to stand out, and they're usually the same when you pick them. Now, I'm sure there's been some guys that didn't make it, but that position, I think you can pick out a guy. That's
all
good.
caps. Do not draft Burton. Listen, I'm with you, man. I had him in some prop bets late, and boy, did he disappointed. Look, and that's also the size guy. If I'm going for a wide receiver early in this draft, first, second round, or whatever, I want some size to him. I want quick speed.
Puka Nacua.
Yeah, and I want a guy that can go up and get it. And Jermaine Burton does not strike me as that guy. He's quick, but look, he never really stood out for any length of time in the college game.
That's right.
And it makes it.
No, it was only a few games. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Thirsty for Kool-Aid. I like that one because Kool-Aid McKinstry is a guy that he's not been 100% dismissed, but he's been kind of discounted because of the injury.
Not great against the big guys either.
Yeah.
He gets a little pushed around a little bit.
All right, so
I think it's corner. I'm saying corner.
That's what I think it's going to be myself.
Because you can't depend on Ronald Darby for 16 games. You can't.
That's one of the guys that I'm seriously concerned about. He's a little long in tooth too. He's been a good player. He really has.
Yes, when healthy, a very good player. Yeah.
And in Baltimore, and you heard his presser because we ran it. I'm pretty sure we ran all of them when they did the introductory, and he basically said when I was in Baltimore, I knew I wasn't going to be on the field all the time, but I was going to do whatever it would take to be on the field when they needed me. And so with that defense, and that was Mike McDonald coordinating that defense, and they already had a couple of studs that were playing outside. And so he kind of had to find his way. And I hope he comes in here and is a successful coach. You know as well as we do, that guy, we need those guys that can lock on and make it difficult as hell for receivers to get the ball.
Absolutely. Listen, we know that as bad as we played offensively down the stretch, the defense was worse. If the defense played anywhere near as good as it needed to play, we'd have been in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously you look back and you say, well, the offense didn't play that good either. But they played well enough to win a couple of ball games, in my opinion. Down
Certainly the
stretch.
Bengals game.
Yeah. So I really think that, they're going to go defense.
So, Coach, what's the temperament of that locker room when you got both sides kind of struggling? I mean, as a coach, I mean, what do you do to make amends when you know that both sides? Because in the locker room, we're combative. We know when guys ain't playing well and stuff, and we mention it to each other. So, I mean, how would you have handled something like that?
Well, first of all, you have to have some leaders in that locker room that are going to take control. That's the bottom line of all of it. I mean, the first thing I did as a head coach, and obviously I wasn't as successful as I hoped to be, but the first thing I did was to find out who in the locker room had everybody's ear. I talked to Michael Irvin as soon as I got there, and he wasn't playing anymore, but he still had the ear of a lot of guys in the locker room. But you got to have those guys, number one. And, as a defensive coach, the one thing I did over and over almost every week, the first thing I said to them when we had our first meeting of the week, getting ready for, for the game, was I said, guys, we have no control over what goes on the other side of the ball. None. We only have control of what we do. And all we should be worried about, we shouldn't worry about whether or not they're playing well or not, and we should not be worried about whether they play well or not. We better take care of our own business, and that's the key to the whole thing. You got to have some guys that are willing to say, hey, we're going to take control of this game. I don't care what's going on the other side, who's hurt or whatever.
That's leadership. I mean, that's always been the sentiment in the locker room. Even when I was with the Steelers or with the Jaguars, we were juggling. We ran the ball effectively when I was with the Steelers, and in Jacksonville we threw the ball effectively when we was here. And at particular times our defense did struggle, but we didn't concern ourselves with that. If we handled our part, if we handled our part, putting up points, then it would balance out the scales. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I was so frustrated with the team that was last year. That someone had to say, hey, listen. Someone had to say, hey, listen, we can't control about what they're doing. Whether you're on the offense or the defensive side, you got to say, listen, all we can do is control on what we can do as an offense or what we can do as a defense. And there's no way that you don't make the playoffs at 8-3 if you had that kind of leadership.
But you also had in your locker room, you had where you guys would say something to the defense, or the defense would say something to you.
Yeah,
they were holding us accountable. Well,
that was in practice.
Those guys that
was in practice.
That's in practice.
That was in practice. Absolutely in practice.
And not in a negative way.
No, not in a negative way. We would know as an offense, we would know what the defense struggled with the week before, all right, or whoever got them. And if we saw that same thing in practice, we'll make a note of it. Hey, man, y'all can't be missing tackles like you did last week. I mean, and then defense as well. If we're dropping passes or we're missing blocks, the defense will get on us. You get ticked off at each other, but they're speaking truth, and it keeps you accountable in practice. So you
and that's an individual thing.
Yeah.
In other words, that's Leon Searcy's playing well at offensive tackle, and he's telling a guy, "Hey, come on, let's go."
Yeah.
That's just you have to be a leader. You got to be
your game got to be on spot. You can't be no leader and giving up pressure.
So then the obvious question is, how many of those guys had their game on spot?
Right. How many guys put the other guy on blast? That really is the essence of this. It really is.
There's a problem in the locker room when you go 5 out of 6 losses. I said that from the day it started.
You know what I'm going to call that, Coach? It's a mic drop. He just that's it. He said that's it right there, Coach. So we're turning you loose. Hope the neck is better.
You got it.
Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. We're going to keep it rolling. We got our XLP Big 3. We've got suggestions on the text line, suggestions on X. One of our guys, Tyler, says wide receiver 1, cornerback 2, edge 3. So we will get into more of your suggestions and then also some of your answers as to what did go wrong with those last first 3 selections from Trent Baalke in the draft a year ago. Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota, they bring you today's show. It's XL Primetime. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, and RJ.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. Feel the power when the horses run free.
Are you kidding me?
This Sunday at Martinsville. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234.
Am I dreaming right now?
On Jacksonville's NASCAR station. 1010XL.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. You've heard us talk about it. Window World, the #1 window replacement company in the USA, selling over 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years.
That's a lot of satisfied customers and why J.D. Powers has awarded Window World Best in Customer Satisfaction 3 out of 4 years.
Window World stands behind their slogan, simply the best for less. With Window World, you get top quality windows at a price that leaves more of your money in your bank account, and you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement industry. When compared to our competition, there is none. See for yourself. Call the competition. Get quotes from them. But before you buy, get Window World's free estimate and compare the quality of the windows and the price.
You'll see.
And when your new Window World windows are installed and they're saving you money on your energy bills, if anything goes wrong with those windows, Window World and I will be there to make it right. That's my guarantee.
Call Window World today. Start saving money on your new windows and your energy bills and take vacation with your savings. Window World, online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
Let's go! It's time for opening night, so don't you dare miss the Jacksonville Sharks' first home game against the IFL defending champions, the Bay Area Panthers, Saturday, April 6th at the ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Kickoff 7 o'clock. Let's go! Tickets as low as $15. You can't find Saturday family, affordable fun anywhere else. Call 904-621-0700 or go to jacksharks.com. Dust off your boots, grab your cowboy hat for Western night. Join us at 5 p.m. for Shark Fest, every home game located outside the arena for our pre-game party. Help us rock the tank as we roll out the 2023 NAL Championship banner. Let's go! Don't miss our opening game. It's this Saturday, April 6th, 7 o'clock. Let's show them what Jax is bringing to the table at the ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Be a part of indoor football fun and exciting, non-stop action. For tickets as low as $15, call 904-621-0700. Don't forget your cowboy hats. Let's go! Let's go!
American Electrical is looking for bright minds and hard workers to help light up North Florida. This community continues to grow, and now you can grow your career with a company that will make sure you succeed through commitment. American Electrical even has its own academy dedicated to training select students in the electrical trade, and the best news, it's free of charge. Log on to american-electrical.com to find out more. They're leading the way in electrical contractors on the First Coast. american-electrical.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and you've heard me praising the quick and easy process of Awaken 180 weight loss. Now I'm going to explain the benefits. It begins and ends with fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years, or better yet, buying new clothes because those you have don't fit anymore, or tightening your belt and realizing you're out of holes, or running on the treadmill or on the beach or lifting weights just like you once did. And here's the key. Your health drastically changes. Who doesn't want that? The transformation from old you to new you is the finish line, and Awaken 180 Weight Loss gets you there faster, safer, and easier than any other weight loss program. You're healthy, you're happy, you've made a paradigm life shift. I want everyone to know how easy it is to lose weight, how I did it, how Mike Dempsey did it, and how Hacker's done it, and more than 21,000 have done it. You can too. Get your plan, get your personal coach, get your results by doing what we all did. Choose the solution for weight loss. Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800.
Race into Gate for big offers. By big, we mean great deals on Red Bull and a chance to win tickets to the big race coming to Miami May 3rd through 5th. Buy 2 8.4-ounce cans of Red Bull, get one free. And if you're a MyGate Rewards member, you are automatically entered for a chance to win race tickets. Not a member? Download the Gate app and sign up today. See store for details. Go from good to Gate.
Folks, the First Coast has voted. Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is proud to be chosen as Bold City's best in 4 categories: Best Orthopedic Practice, Physical Therapy, Pain Management, and Foot Care Clinic. For the last 30 years, JOI has continually strived for the highest level of orthopedic surgery and rehab care. As the needs of the community evolve, so will they. That's why coaches, parents, and athletes choose JOI. call them at JOI 2000 or visit JOI.net. JOI, where the pros go.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 2nd, 2003, Alex Rodriguez becomes the youngest MLB player to hit 300 home runs at 27 years old while on the Texas Rangers.
Plenty of hot spots all over the First Coast, from the beaches to Riverside, San Marco, and St. Aug. If you're out and about and having fun, make sure you designate a driver so everyone on the road gets home safely. Budweiser, reminding you to play it smart.
What's the major difference between a crocodile and an alligator? The answer next.
Lightning, storms, and hurricane winds can ruin recent home improvements. Let Southern Oak Insurance review your policy today. Visit us online at southernoakins.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
While an alligator will see you later, a crocodile will see you after a while.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Stop paying for exterior paint that does not protect your home or business. Pick it here from my friends at Rhino Shield. Their beautifully durable coatings never chip, crack, or peel, and they back that up with a 25-year warranty. None of that water intrusion damage from these crazy storms we get in Northeast Florida, all while saving you thousands compared to the cost of repainting. And gang, check this out. Right now, 0% financing and up to 20% off new jobs purchased now until Sunday. Go to RhinoShieldJax.com. Get your free estimate, RhinoShieldJax.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
Brand new time slot for us, 2 to 4. Thanks for hanging out with us, Joe C., Matty Hayes. Big Leon Searcy.
I'm not feeling it, RJ. I got to be honest with you, man.
Don't you say anything. Don't you mess
I'm
him
not
up.
feeling it, RJ.
Listen, I love it. I love it.
All right, I will never play it again.
I don't know what it is, man. I'm not feeling it.
RJ and I are headbangers. Yeah, we're headbangers.
Who is this, RJ?
Got no clue.
Listen, I don't care as long as it's headbanging. And look, he gets in the mosh pit. He forgets who the artist is. That's just how he. That's just how he rolls. Okay?
I'm going to send you something, RJ.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
No, listen. You leave him alone. You
Slide it to me, Matt. Listen,
You know I will, bro.
Yes. Okay. All right.
All right. 641-1010. We've been talking draft. We got to kind of weave our way to a funny comment from Derrick Henry about Nick Saban, which we will do coming up in just a little bit. And then Nick was a TikTok star also with some of the stuff that he had to say just about you as an individual. And how important you are, which I thought was great. We may have to archive that bad boy and roll it into the XLP annals, as they like to say. Off the text line, this was suggested as far as the possibility of changing it from Nooners to Tuners. And instead of Tooner, it's Twoner, but also like the twofer suggestion as well. So those are possibilities. But back to the draft, Leon. And the texter says, bulky drafted positions which were already locked up by high-performing starters last year. Dumb picks. And I tell you what, that sums it up about as well as anything. I embraced it because I felt like Doug Peterson was trying to get more offensive weapons. But the point of the texter is that you had Travis Etienne, good. You had Evan Ingram, good. And you took 2 of your first 3 choices and you put him on positions of backups.
Well, listen, a lot of the draft picks from last year was probably misconstrued because of the season that we had coming off. I mean, we were in the second round of playoffs against the Kansas City Chiefs team that we ultimately thought that a drop pass here, a fumble there, we're probably in the AFC Championship game. So I mean, you're feeling good about your roster.
Yeah. And
so the picks that you were making there weren't necessities. Mm-hmm. They were add-ons, in my opinion. That's the way we looked at it. Now Cam Robinson disrupted that a little bit. Antoine Harrison being drafted had a lot to do with the fact that, and that Cam was in a situation where he knew he was going to get suspended. Right. So we had to have somebody in place for at least 4 games because Cam's going to be out there. But those other guys, man, I mean, but now we're in a situation now, after you go 9-8 and you miss the playoffs, I mean, we got holes everywhere. I mean, holes that we had when we went out, what was it, 2022 in that free agency when we spent all that money on people because our roster was decimated. We needed better guys. And the same way we went out in free agency and got guys now, you know, when you go 9-8, you don't make the playoffs, you know, there's a lot more questions than answers.
So, I mean, honestly, if we're going to sit back and be intellectually honest about this, he's probably hit just somewhere around under 50% of his draft picks. Which, if you get over 50%, that's where you start making the playoffs.
Yeah, you're doing work.
So, he's close. I mean, I know it's the Vogue thing to do to rip him, and I get it, all right? He has blown a couple picks. There's no doubt about it, okay? But he's had a couple classes that have helped this franchise, too.
Yes. Like, I will combo it up.
It doesn't mean I have faith in number 17 this year. I'm just telling you, it's, you know, he's right about 50%, I would guess.
And honestly, I have no problem giving a pat on the back to Balky and say, bro, those were some solid picks. But then at the same time, I'm not going to say everything was just because I said some were. And so it's going to be wherever there are fails, I'm going to point them out, and wherever there are successes. Now, here's the thing.
The problem is the 3 fails are the 3 high picks.
Yes.
You've got Muma, you've got Bigsby,
and
you've got Strange.
Yeah,
those are like 3. And again, I'm not giving up on Strange and Bigsby yet, but those are 3 picks that got to hit immediately.
Yeah, and defense, as we're talking about how important defense is this year, the first picks on defense last year were in the 4th round. One was an injured player, and the other one was a guy that really didn't have much of an impact.
Who was injured like his entire career at Florida.
Yeah, unfortunately. A hell of a player, Ventrell.
Yes, when he was healthy. Yeah.
Hell of a player. But the other thing is that if you go back and look, and we'll set it up as we get closer to the draft, but we're going to look at the 90s draft classes, the O's, the 10s, the 20s, and Dave Caldwell had more opportunities to pick higher and did not do well with those picks. And it wasn't just – we have to remind ourselves, when you pick 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 10th, whatever it was, because they went through a string of top 10 picks, it's not just what you get in the first round. It's the same order in almost every other round, meaning you get first dibs on the next round.
Right, it's not a snake
players.
where it goes – what do they call that? The serpentine where it goes back and forth. No. You get the first – top pick of every round.
Yeah.
Well, now in fairness to Dave, I mean he did have one class that probably ranks top 5 Jaguars all time: Ramsey, Jack,
and Ngakoue.
Yeah.
Definitely
Jack and Ngakoue. Yeah. Ramsey was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, but still,
definitely the other 2.
Yeah, but at the same time, like we said, you had the opportunity to have those, and I totally agree with that. But then a little bit later on, you go CJ, Kayla Vaughn, Visca, Devon, Ben Barge. That's not getting it done. That's not getting it done. Devon definitely is trying to prove himself this year when healthy, but the 2 first-rounders, gone. Visca, gone. And then Devon's really been the only productive one. Ben Barge was up and down, and then he ultimately was gone. That was just a horrific draft.
He was probably hovering around mid-20s, high 20%.
Yeah, and then if you go back, you could give
maybe
him credit.
Less than that, actually.
Yeah.
He was not good.
You can give him credit for Josh Allen and Juwan Taylor, back-to-back picks.
Josh Allen literally fell to them.
Yeah, he did. Thank goodness for Dave Gettleman taking Danny Jones.
Right.
But Josh Allen still, you had to make that decision. Someone picked Cleveland Farrell. Thank God. Mike Mayock, I love you, bro. Thank you.
But Mike Mayock, had he been at 7, would have taken Josh Allen.
Yeah, no, he was at 4, and he took Cleveland Farrell, which is just,
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, just absolute nuts. 2 picks before Josh Allen was selected, and you should have known it was the big Jaguar upstairs, his plan, because he had Josh Allen wearing the Jag.
Who is the big Jaguar upstairs, by the way?
He's a powerful man, is all I know, because he had Josh Allen wearing the big Jag sport coat. But 2 picks before that 7th overall, Cleveland Farrell to the Raiders, and I believe that might have been Mike Mayock's first.
For some reason, I was thinking he went 9. He
No.
Wow.
That might have been Mike Mayock's first draft. I can't quite remember. And then Danny Jones to the New York Football Giants with the 6th pick overall. But if you start going back in time, listen, there's just so many of them. This team was drafting either 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th, 9th, and
it's hard to screw up those picks, by the way.
Yeah. You got to make more
If you're
hay.
in the top 10, it's really hard to scrub a
Yeah,
pick.
and if you go from 2008 all the way to 2017, and they were all in the top 10.
But can you hold that against Balky? I don't know that you can.
No,
I mean,
no.
If you're comparing Balky to like Caldwell and Gene Smith, for God's
Right,
sakes, it's
no.
night and day difference.
Balky is up here, and by the way, Balky at the very least, when he did have the number one and then that second first rounder to use, he got two pretty dang good players.
Yeah.
And T-Law, like we said, by default, you got the best
with
player.
Herb's help, don't forget.
Yeah. Yes, true. But then the next year, it was still the number one player in college was available to you, and you chose Trayvon. And right now, it doesn't look like it's a terrible pick. It's just not necessarily, the.
Well, one or the other. They're close.
Yeah, they were close. But they selected ETN. ETN is in the 25th slot. Been a pretty good player. He has. So if we were to evaluate most of Trent Baalke's work to this point, it's more than 50% positive. Would you agree with that?
Close.
It's close.
It's right there.
It's
It's
close.
right there.
About 49%.
Yeah.
Little under.
You're going to give him 49?
Little under.
All right, so let's carry this into the 3 o'clock hour XL Primetime. Thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. They bring you today's show. We will hang out with you until 4 this afternoon, and then the Frangie Show will crank up. But we're staying on the draft, and then we're going to get into a little college football. Mike Norvell is describing what he sees when he sees DJU playing the position of quarterback. So we will get into that in the 3 o'clock hour. Billy Napier with some notes coming out of the Gator scrimmage is certainly worth pointing out as well. This is a critical time for both of these state schools that much of you out there follow and love, and they got to make sure that in the case of Norvell that they can reload, in the case of Billy that they can just get it right.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Let's hear your story.
Dan Hicken.
Chicks dig me because, well, I have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Mornings on the Drill.
Eat your heart out.
On 1010XL.
He's had a lot of near success.
This is Hayes Carline for QC Kinetics. The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. If you're tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. They've got 2 great locations. Call for a free consultation at 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. And go see them, Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. You can get in. They've got availability. You need to give them a call. Stop dealing with pain in your hips and your shoulders and your knees. Steroids, surgery, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. Give QC Kinetics a call today. Again, 904-274-5522. Go see them in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra. That's QC Kinetics.
Joe C. for the Preferred Group. They've been in business in Jacksonville for a long, long time, and the reason they came up with the name is because they want you to have a preference on who you want to work with, and that represents quality. It represents making sure that the job's done right and on time. All those things matter. And the Preferred Group has got a full arsenal of stuff they can help you with in the construction game. Now, the roofing is very, very important. And Mark and the entire crew there, they can take care of you when it's coming down to, hey, gosh, I got to replace it. We'll make sure it's replaced properly. PreferredRoofingJacks.com. And don't forget, builders, PreferredBuildersJacks.com.
Hacker here. You know, there was a time when negative comments on social media about my weight just faded into the background. I got so used to seeing them. However, in just 5 weeks, everything has taken a 180. I now notice comments about my weight again because they're completely different. Thanks to dropping a whopping 40 pounds already with Awaken 180. People are noticing and rooting me on. It feels absolutely incredible. I'm diving back into clothes I haven't worn in 15 years, turning back time while losing 5 pounds a week, thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. I have a whole new outlook on life. I've been down other weight loss roads before, but nothing compares to this. The shift from not noticing the negative to embracing the positive has been profound. So what are you waiting for? Join me on this transformation with Awaken 180. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. 1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com. The Wing Madness menu at Boston's Restaurant and Sports Bar is a slam dunk. Sink your teeth into our mouth-watering rib or cauliflower wings. Available in 16 amazing flavors. Try their trash can nachos, layers of crispy tortilla chips piled high with all the fixings, and their flavorful, addictive corn wings. You'll be hoarding these like a sneaky technical foul. Get 50% off bone-in or boneless wings on our loyalty program. All the details and restrictions at bostons.com today.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
What a great way to start spring with a cigar tasting from Perdomo Cigars. Join Tobacco Cove Saturday, April 6th from 1 to 4 p.m. for a tasting extravaganza featuring Perdomo cigars handmade in Esteli, Nicaragua. With food, drinks, and specials on cigars, this is a great way to become acquainted with the quality and value that is Perdomo Cigars. Tobacco Cove on Bay Meadows Road. We are more than a cigar store. We are an experience.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Window Gang Jacksonville. Gators head coach Billy Napier on his first impressions of five-star freshman quarterback DJ Lagway.
He's impressed me with his ability to learn, retain information. He picks it up really quickly. And then his ability to take it from meeting room to walkthrough and then do it in a practice setting. Today was good for him, right? He had to play the situations as they arose throughout the scrimmage. I think the big next step for him is the game management piece.
Billy Napier on Gators freshman quarterback DJ Lagway. It's 85 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
All right, we're bringing the playlist. Who is this, Matt?
Turn it up. Turn it up. You know, right now, down the hall right now, Greg, salesman Greg, he's like banging his fist right now against the table.
Loving it?
Loving this. This is extreme.
Okay. All right. Recorded when?
This is like off a new album, so this just dropped like about, I don't know, 4 months ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I love it. I love it. All right.
Just in Jacksonville, actually. Yeah,
that's pretty good. We'll take that for sure. All right. XL Primetime, Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota Tuesday. Maddie bringing the music, RJ playing it for us, and we're definitely going to try and keep that rock and roll going for you for sure. Big Searcy, Joe C. Now, we threw out our XLP Big Three, and we threw it out earlier, and I think we should repeat your top three, Searcy, your top three, Matt. I'll throw mine out, but real quick, off of X, and all you got to do is go search the 1010XL timeline, and you can see the question, and basically give us your top three positions of need for the Jaguars' first three draft picks. And our X poll brought to you by Beaver Chevrolet. Janet says center, agreeing with Matt, center, cornerback, and wide receiver. Chris says cornerback, wide receiver, and edge. Everyone will say O-line, O-line, O-line. Jags doubled down on what they had and added Morse. First three picks have to contribute this year, and those three spots will. Dustin, his first suggestion, GM. I love the humor. GM, O-line, wide receiver.
It's hardcore, man.
Yeah, we got plenty of those. Andrew coming in with wide receiver, offensive line, cornerback. And so I think more than anything else, we're seeing wide receiver a bunch in the first three picks. I'll read a few more coming up here in a second, but give us your top three.
My top three was OT/OG, offensive tackle that you can move inside, maybe, possibly. And then my second was defensive tackle, interior, pass rushers, run stopper, and then cornerback.
Okay, cornerback. Maddie?
Yeah, I don't know why we keep seeing wide receiver.
Because
I mean, I get it. I get it because people think you need deep speed and you got, if Zay Jones is healthy, he's going to give you that deep speed.
Yeah, believe me, I'm.
And again, that's an if because the Jacksonville ifs, like you say all the time.
Yeah, and I will pray for the Zay, okay, because I want that guy to be back and healthy.
And I keep saying this: if he's healthy, I'd rather have him than a pick at 17 at receiver. All right, so I just think you know what you've got, and you don't know what you got at 17 at receiver. Maybe a great player, maybe maybe like a Justin Jefferson type player. It also may be a guy that's out of the league in 3 years or 2 years. I think you got to go big. I've been saying all along you got to go big. I don't think that's what they're going to do. I think they're probably going to go corner or edge at 17 unless something crazy happens and someone unthinkable falls to them there. I think that's what they'll probably do.
Yeah.
And I think they're going defense, first 3 picks.
Yeah, I still am a little shocked that we've arrived at edge. I went interior defensive lineman, edge, cornerback, and I'm not against it. I just am still a little shocked that from the Josh Allen draft on, this team has swung a bunch at that defensive end tree, trying to knock it down and say, we got wood, we can work with this, because you got Josh Allen, you got Trayvon, you've, of course, had Caleb on, he's gone, and now you might be going back to that again.
Well, who else you got? Think about it.
Yeah.
Other than Trayvon and Josh Allen, who else you got?
It's the truth. It really is. And so you cannot get away from that part of it. All right. Off the text line, we got a few of them for sure as far as the ideas of where they think they should go. T-Law says, get me a wide receiver 1, Trent Baalke, off the social, off X. Andrew wants wide receiver, offensive line, cornerback. Logan puts him in order, wide receiver, cornerback, offensive line. T just simply says edge. He mentions Ricky Pearsall as a wide receiver in the second round.
He's not going to be there 48.
So you really think he's going to be plucked before?
I had 2 different scouts tell me earlier this week, or late last week, I should say, earlier this week, like Sunday, told me that they think he's probably going to go late first, if not within the first 4 or 5 picks of the second. That he's like, he's really improved his stock both at the Senior Bowl and in combine.
He really has.
And in pro workouts.
He has decent size, certainly has the quicks. The agility drills that they did at the combine helped him. It's funny. The J.J. McCarthy conversation is, hey, they didn't ask him to do a whole lot up in Michigan because they had great run game, great defense, yada, yada, yada. In the Ricky Pearsall conversation, they're basically saying, hey, he either had an injured quarterback or a guy that –
And he always had a limited play caller.
Yeah, and a limited play sheet, play caller, everything, honestly. And so maybe that is giving Pearsall a little bit of the benefit of the doubt.
I like the 718 on the text line, Leon. He says, we need nasty attitudes.
Yeah, that part right there. Listen, yeah, absolutely.
Any position, right?
Any position, absolutely, especially interiorly. But I'm telling you, when I did watch the Florida games, when they did come across my screen, I did see Pearsall make some amazing catches in some of those games. Like that. And it doesn't hurt that you would go in the combine. What did he run the combine? A 4.43 or something?
4.41, I think.
4.41 or something like that. And then you had a hell of a season. That's what you see. I'm always a stickler on the Senior Bowls and the combines, but here's a benefactor. All right, he goes on the Florida team where you said they were limited in their play calling and the quarterback play and all that kind of stuff. So he gets lost in the shuffle. All right, goes to the Senior Bowl, balls out, goes to the combine, gets attention, and right now, his draft stock. Where was Pearsall probably at the end of the season? Considered maybe what, 3rd round?
That's what I was thinking.
3rd round guy. Now he's elevated his stock to the point where he's going to be a late first rounder or early second.
It makes you think like the way Mertz played in November, late October, early November, because he didn't play that poorly against George either. It makes you wonder, was he doing all that dump down stuff because that's what the play call was? Because you've got Ricky Pearsall on one side and Trey Wilson on the other side. Those are 2 dynamic guys.
The other thing about Trey is that he wasn't 100% healthy.
He was for the most part of the season. He was.
And what was so crazy is that you would have –
and that dude's a player.
Oh, I love that guy. And Gator fans can appreciate this. You would see Trey Wilson in the first handful of scripted plays, and he would flash big time. Almost like Calvin Ridley flashed here early in games, and then he would disappear.
Yeah.
And Trey Wilson just disappeared, and it really was a mystery. And in the end, Graham Mertz didn't look like he had a whole hell of a lot of time to make decisions, and then had to get rid of the football, which was to your point.
But he did from mid-October to mid-November. He looked the second, third level throws were there, and he was making them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my question is, look, and I got on the guys more than anybody, okay? I'm now starting to wonder, was it him early on dumping down, being checked down Charlie, or was it the actual offense in that Billy Napier didn't have confidence in him to throw make those.
It really could be. There's no question that could be a part of it. But Pearsall is moving up. There's no mistaking what these people are seeing. Now, again, off season, you basically create a cottage industry of how to work out and do your NFL combine work, your pro day work, and you can move up. You can move up the ladder. I don't remember. I have to go back and look. Daniel Jeremiah's first top 50 had 11 wide receivers in it. Do you remember if Pearsall was it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But how far down was he?
He was like 42, I think.
Okay. All right. So, but we're talking 8th, 9th, 10th, or 11th wide receiver. Is that where he was?
Yeah.
All right. So
I think he actually might have been 11th.
So he might have been the last guy. Okay.
But, Leon, you got to have tape, too. It can't just be combine stuff.
No.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, you got to have good tape. I mean, because some guys just test well. Some guys are track guys. Some guys are weight room guys. And you got to take that into consideration. What do they do on the field is what, you should be looking at, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. Guard mentioned by Solid Snake, wide receiver, guard, interior defensive line. Tyler with wide receiver, cornerback, and edge. There are plenty of them that are jumping in, so you guys can do that. Just go to 1010 on X and give us some of those. This one I love. I want the Jags to draft a big, ugly bulldozer defensive tackle. Who doesn't?
Amen.
Those types of guys, they haven't collapsed the pocket at all over the last couple of years. Unfortunately, they just haven't done it. And so they have to have that. That has to happen for them to have a chance to, quote, affect the passer, because they haven't done it to this point. Haven't knocked him down.
Eric Armstead, 6'7".
Oh, he's a big man.
6'7", 330, 345. And when camp starts in July, he's still 6'7", he's still 345.
Yeah. And hopefully
you cannot grow those dudes. They are who they are.
And hopefully a healthy Devon next to him.
Yeah.
Because if that happens,
another big dude.
Right, you have a chance. I still think it's a very important position at the top of the draft, but they do have, if it's a healthy Devon and an aging but still very, very capable player in Eric Armstead.
You know what's going to be discouraging when we go to camp in training camp this summer?
What?
Is that no one on our offensive line is going to be able to block him. Eric Armstead.
Probably, that's going to scare you.
No one's going to be able to
on
block
that middle
him.
three, you mean?
Yes, no one.
Unless they get
Hey,
JPJ.
did you see the 49er game?
What if they get JPJ?
I mean, you see the 49er game?
What if
You
they
remember
get,
the 49er
what if they get
game,
Cooper
right?
Beebe?
Yeah. How did Sheriff do against him is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
How did
you
Luke?
remember it? I saw it. We were there.
By the way,
that was the worst game
That
of the
was
season.
It was the worst game of the
Wasn't
season.
even
I got to bring this compensation thing back up, Matt, that we were looking at yesterday. How did Luke Fortner make more money than Brock Purdy in the extra compensation? We have got to bring that up.
It's all about plays, number of plays played. It's literally participation.
Okay. Luke Fortner and Brock Purdy.
Maybe the 49ers offense is more efficient than this offense.
Well, maybe because he was missing that. Did he miss a game?
He might have missed it.
There was a 3-game losing streak. I thought he might have missed one of those games.
Are you talking about Fortner? Or you
No,
talking
Purdy.
about Purdy? Yeah.
Because-
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Fortner's agent had an incentive base in his contract based upon how many games.
Oh, I know
he
how.
played.
He was high. He's third rounder. Purdy was the last pick of the
Yeah,
draft.
he was last pick. Yeah.
Okay, so
That makes a difference. It depends on where you were drafted.
Oh, I you know what I actually thought it was? Is that if you're paid less, you get more.
No, you get more depending on where you're drafted. The more plays.
Okay.
The more
All right,
plays.
I have to look at it because I was blown away. I'm like, wait a minute. This guy, they couldn't wait to put him on the bench. The other guy got his team to the Super Bowl. He was the last pick in the draft a couple years ago, and here he is taking his team to the Super Bowl and got less money than the guy that just got put on the bench at Luke Fortner, which is just crazy.
So do you take a long, hard look? Because I'm reading the 6066 on the text line, and he's saying if Bowers is there at 17 and the Jags don't take him, they're idiots. He's a Pro Bowler already. Do you think long and hard about taking Bowers at 17, or are there way too many other positions that we need to focus on?
Yeah, let's answer that question coming up because tight end is not necessarily a need, but Brock Bowers may be one of those guys that you say we can't live without. So let's do that coming up. It's XL Primetime.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Wonder what Rick Ballou would be doing if he wasn't on 1010XL?
I like sports. I could do something in sports. You know, like the general manager of a baseball team.
Rick Ballou.
Well, it doesn't even have to be the general manager. Maybe I could be like an announcer, like a color man.
Evenings on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. It's time to give your vehicle the care it deserves. Big Chief Tire is your go-to destination for general maintenance. They keep jacks rolling, and that means ensuring your vehicle is in tip-top shape. From oil changes to brake repairs, their team of experts is dedicated to keeping you safe on the road. Visit the website at bigchieftire.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment at any of their 5 Jacksonville locations.
Osprey fans, today is Giving Day at the University of North Florida. From athletics to scholarships, lend your support today. No gift is too small. Swoop and support the Ospreys. Visit givingday.unf.edu or call 904-620-1672.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Bolt City Heating and Air is truly a family-owned and operated local company and treats all customers like family. Don't be fooled by the out-of-towners, equity firms, and national corporations that use local names. There's one name you can trust when it comes to your home's AC cooling system. Bolt City Heating and Air. Jacksonville grown and entirely loyal to this community. Don't wait until it's too late. Schedule your summer maintenance now by visiting BoltCityAC.com.
Have you been dreaming of enhancing your living space with top-quality custom windows and doors? Well, now's the 30-day spring sale with Renewal by Andersen. Save $300 on every window, $825 on all patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires April 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, a better way to a better window. Visit rbafla.com.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hi, this is Navy Lieutenant Clifton Johnson, stationed at Commander Navy Region Southeast, and you're listening to 1010XL.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Hacker here. You know, there was a time when negative comments on social media about my weight just faded into the background. I got so used to seeing them. However, in just 5 weeks, everything has taken a 180. I now notice comments about my weight again because they're completely different. Thanks to dropping a whopping 40 pounds already with Awaken 180. People are noticing and rooting me on. It feels absolutely incredible. I'm diving back into clothes I haven't worn in 15 years, turning back time while losing 5 pounds a week, thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. I have a whole new outlook on life. I've been down other weight loss roads before, but nothing compares to this. The shift from not noticing the negative to embracing the positive has been profound. So what are you waiting for? Join me on this transformation with Awaken 180. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now here comes Banchero right down the lane, and he tucked it down. A pump fake dunk. How do you stay in the air for that long? Just do that every time. Holy smokes. Paulo looked like he was going to have to lay it up and just jammed it. I had never seen anything like that. He's something special.
Who lit it up last night? Brought to you by American-Electrical.com.
Yes, y'all. Check it out, y'all. Yes, y'all. Check it out, y'all. Check it out, y'all. Yo, I find the show, rhyme till it's time to go. I'm designed to blow, my mind's inclined to flow. Yo, my MO making all kind of dough. From the info that Rock Him show, you know, I find
This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
I like RJ picking that because it says my name like 45 times. I'm all about that. Say it ain't so, Joe.
So who lit it up? Yeah. I mean, she had 9 threes last night.
Yeah, we were talking about Paolo, not her.
She can shoot the heck out of it, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's stupid. But to your point, when we were off the air, there have been other women throughout the years, pretty good ball players too.
Diana Taurasi was, pretty awesome. Now, I do want to set it up, RJ. Go ahead and play this highlight because you got a little something we're going to give to the fans coming up before we are done today. Yeah, there it is. Come on. Hit it, man. All right. It ain't happening.
Slow on the trigger.
Yeah.
Already shot.
Yeah, he is.
Now here comes Banchero right down the lane, and he tucked it down. A pump fake dunk. How do you stay in the air for that long? Just do that every time. Holy smokes. Paolo looked like he was going to have to lay it up and just jammed it. I had never seen anything like that. He's something special.
So,
bro, you were slow on the trigger for an NBA highlight?
I know.
I wasn't. I played it coming back from the break. Thanks for listening, Matt.
But he's got 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists with the win. Now, RJ, tease why we played that highlight because you're going to
absolutely so. Every Sunday we have Open Gym, the basketball show for the basketball fan here on the Superstation. We were supposed to do a ticket giveaway on Sunday, but we did not have a show on Sunday. But we do have 2 tickets for the Magic's upcoming game against the Chicago Bulls on the 7th.
All right, so be listening for that. You want him, Leon?
No, I'm saying I don't know. No, RJ is a part of a league. Don't you play ball at the Y?
Not the Y, but yes, I play on Thursdays at a local.
Are we going there right now, Leon? Is that what we're doing?
No, then I don't play. I don't play at the Y.
Plays against the seniors.
I play against seniors. What did I say? I play against seniors, Leon.
He's a double-double with the seniors at the Y.
All right, Leon. I do not play no basketball against no seniors. Respect those guys, man. They hoop.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder what the age range is. There was a time when you'd have the over 35 league, and then
that's what it is. It's like 35 plus. I'm the youngest guy.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
But you do play in it.
Yeah, I play in it because I know the guy who runs the league, like runs the Open Gym. I know him. Okay. I used to play with him at the gym.
Tell everybody how old you are.
How old they are?
You are.
I'm 29.
So
you're playing in the seniors league at 29.
Seniors league. Okay, Leon.
You don't mess with you.
All right, now listen, we will give you a chance to win those Magic Bulls tickets before the day is done, courtesy of RJ and a little NBA talk that he has Sunday morning.
Yeah, what a great show name,
which
too,
is
Open
good.
Gym.
Which is good. All right, now getting back to some of the conversation that we have as far as the XLP Big Three that we had today, it's just as far as all the wishes and wants from all of Duval as far as where this football team should be going with the first 3 picks. And it does cover – it's not like there's this big spray pattern of positions that's actually a good thing, because how many times have you gone into drafts and you would say, well, dang, they need a lineman, they need a pass rusher, they need an interior defensive line, they need a cornerback, they need safety, they need a wide receiver. And so even though we still kind of have a big list, at least it ain't as bad as it used to be where there were holes everywhere. And whoever you drafted was going to be starting instantly. And that at least that's not the case right now.
No, I mean, listen, we saw that when Trevor came here. Mm-hmm. We knew instantaneously Trevor and Etienne had to play. Now, Etienne had the issue with the foot or whatever where he missed the whole season, but those guys, we couldn't afford to miss on any of those guys that we drafted. And then, the next year, I mean, we brought in a plethora of free agents that, listen, we had a roster that was decimated. Absolutely, it was terrible. Mm-hmm. And you got to figure out a way to plug and play fill in those holes. Now, we were a little misled last year. I keep repeating it. Last year when we go to the playoffs, we play Kansas City. Going into the offseason, we feeling pretty good about ourselves. Yeah. We feeling real good. But Trevor has evolved. Everything is good. Doug's first year, everything looked. And then you go into the next, feeling ourselves a little bit. Absolutely. You feel yourself a little bit. And then you go into the season, the first 11 games, you start 8-3, number 1 seed, and next thing you know, you lose 5 out of 6. And now you're in a position right now where, like I said, you got more questions than answers.
Yeah. Joe, what was that one year? That one year when we said it was 28 of the 53 guys on the roster were either first-year guys or undrafted free agents, something like that. And that was recent. That was like 3 years ago. 4 years ago.
I don't think it was 28. I have to go back and look. But the one thing that was for sure is that the bottom 40% of the roster felt like it was being turned over and over and
Whereas
over.
the last 2 years, there's very little turnover.
It's been fairly steady. That
Well,
part's a positive.
Well, how many returning starters do we have from this going into this season?
Well, okay, let's marry this up because what you're saying, the fact that Trent had to go out in the free agent class, and you could come at this a couple different ways. They tagged Josh Allen. That means they had to do a transaction to keep him, right?
Yeah.
He's part of the team, but he's a free agent, so they tagged him. So they basically went out and got 7 out of 9 signings are all starters. Free agents. That includes Josh Allen, but 7 out of 9. That means they had to go to the free agent well to fill 7, and I'm including a special teamer.
Well, are you including – who are you –
I'm including –
So Duvernay is the return guy.
Yeah, I'm including him as a starter. Duvernay, Gabe Davis, Mitch Morse, Savage, Darby, Eric Armstead, and then
Ezra. I mean, he was on the team, but wasn't a starter.
Yeah, and then Duvernay. That's 7, or including Josh Allen. Okay, now Josh Allen's still here, but he was a free agent. So 7 out of 9 transactions include start. And hell, throw Joey Sly in there. Okay, that's Sly Cat. They had to go sign him to be a kicker. Now, that's no big deal. That's just regular, everyday.
Until it's, you need a 52-yarder to win the game, then it's going to be a big deal.
Well, no, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying kickers come and go all the time.
Right.
So it's not like they just had Brandon McManus. He didn't stay long. They said goodbye to him. They went and got another guy. And so that I'm not even counting him necessarily. But I'm saying, including Josh Allen, 7 of 9 transactions took place in the free agent offseason, including tagging Josh Allen.
Okay, so let's just say new starters. New starters is 6.
Yeah.
Including a special team. So it's really 5.
Yeah.
All right, so 5 new stars on both sides of the ball. And you would think that your first-round pick at 17 is going to be a starter.
Yeah.
Or I should say has to be a starter.
All right.
So that's 6 new starters this year.
Yeah, and you've only changed – you've added 1 to your wide receiver room in Gabe Davis. He's a starter. You've got Mitch Morse, only 1 out of 5 that you've changed on your offensive line. That is a starter. Eric Armstead, interior starter. You've got Darby outside, Savage in the back. Those are all significant positions that have been brought in through the free agent class, not through the draft classes.
Again, when you miss in the draft, you have to make up in free agency. That's how it works in the league, man.
Okay. Now, Savage would be, if he moves up into the nickel, he's replacing an undrafted guy. If they go with Antonio Johnson, he's replacing a guy that was a free agent in Rayshon Jenkins that they went out and spent money for. So that's a plus because you drafted a guy, you found him late in the fifth round, I believe, for Antonio Johnson. And so you got to give him credit for that.
I guess, but you also have to say, okay, if Monteric Brown or Greg Jr. hits, you don't have to get Darby.
Yeah.
Right? If Daniel Thomas hits, you don't have to get Savage.
Right. It did not happen.
So, I mean, you can go down the road. If Luke Fortner hits, you don't have to get Morse.
Yeah.
Then you spend your money on something else.
Yeah.
So there's 2 different ways to look at this.
Oh, I totally agree. All right, we got a few more of you guys on the text line and on X as far as chiming in on where they need to go with the XLP Big 3, the first 3 draft needs the Jaguars have. And this will be probably a weekly discussion all the way up until they pick Thursday night on the 25th. But I want you to play, RJ, if you don't mind, the Derrick Henry soundbite. Now, you got to lean in and listen. This is from The Pivot, which is regularly featuring Freddie T., Channing Crowder, Ryan Clark. In this particular one, you only hear really Ryan Clark and Channing Crowder chime in because I don't think Freddie T was part of this one. You can hear him Mondays on The Drill, of course, with Dan and Jeff. But Derrick Henry is telling the story about what Nick Saban would do to get on the guys because he kind of got tired of seeing them celebrate and then kind of act all, godly on the football field. And then later on, who knows what they were up to. Just listen to this conversation.
It's just like a funny story. I mean, we got plenty of stories. I'll tell you a funny one. One time we was in the meetings, because Saban, he old school, couldn't stand if anybody scored and wanted to celebrate afterwards. So we in the meeting one day after the game, forgot who he played, and he pulling up film. He's showing everybody. Then he telling me, "And you guys, you stop doing all that showboating, doing all that praying hands and act like you thanking God." And then later on that night, 12 o'clock, you down there, got Black and Miles, got liquor, you chasing. He was like, forget all that. We were crying. We couldn't do nothing but laugh do your prayer, you get on one knee, then 12 o'clock comes, you got that smoking Black and Miles on the corner, drinking liquor, chasing girls, that was so funny, bro. I was like, bro, he was tired of y'all. Yeah, he was tired of us, bro.
Difference between 12 p.m. and 12 a.m., right, Leon?
Yeah. Hell, we're not monks. What the hell he want from us? I mean, what do you want from us? I mean, well, Nick Saban definitely couldn't have been our coach in Miami because we had plenty of that at Miami.
But it is funny because he kind of thought that they were
showboating. He didn't see showboating. At least all the 80s. The 80s Hurricanes? Oh, my God, they were ridiculous.
On the field and late at night.
Well, you guys weren't – let's be very clear here. You were ridiculous with the substitute teacher. You weren't really showboating ridiculous with Jimmy.
No, well, here's the thing with Jimmy. Jimmy wanted us to celebrate. He absolutely wanted us to celebrate. After on Friday's practice, after we practiced,
right,
we were all getting the end zone and work on our touchdown dance. Jimmy, he said, listen, as hard as you work to get to this point to playing the game, hell yeah, you're supposed to celebrate. You get a sack, you get a forced fumble, you get an interception.
But when did it get funky?
It got funky when Erickson got there. He got real funky there. They came out with the NCAA rule against celebrating because of us. And the funny thing about it is they showed us the tape, right? They showed us the tape of what you couldn't do on film, and I promise you, if you saw the tape, 95% of the tape was us on there dancing and showboating.
And like 85% of that 95% was probably Randall Hill.
Yeah.
You got to have those guys. I mean, Randall had some flair and some personality.
Yeah, he was. The quick story about that. The funny thing, you're talking about in 90 against Texas. Here's the thing. I'm in the huddle with Randall, right? And we're already up by 40-something points. So whatever. We had a running play call. And Randall Hill comes in the huddle. He said, I don't care what the coach just called. You haven't thrown a ball to me all game. I'm going to run this 9 route, and you're going to throw it to me. I'm going to score a touchdown. We're like, Randall, we're up by 44 points, bro. You still want the ball? And Craig Erickson threw him the ball, and he scored a touchdown and ran through the end zone and scored a touchdown.
Only thing that made him happy all day.
The only thing that made him happy, he said he hadn't caught a ball the whole game. He said,
came out firing 6 years.
He did.
That's beautiful. All right, now, can this guy hit the guy on the 9 route? Mike Norvell on DJU. Let's play this soundbite because Florida State, you saw Mr. Reliable for a long time wearing the garnet gold in Jordan Travis. This guy did more, and you might even say did more with less, because as we've talked about Jordan Travis through the years, that guy came in, did not look like he was going to be a thrower, a guy that could run a spread offense when he first got there. He was just running for his life, remember, up in Tallahassee? Yeah. And then obviously developed into a very special player before he got hurt. And so now you got DJU on his 3rd school. Is this his 5th year or his 4th year?
This is 5th year.
5th year? So anyway, DJ Uiagalelei up there in Tallahassee with Mike Norvell, kind of what he can visualize to see if he can come in and be a winning starter.
Even whenever he went in the portal and we got a chance to get him on campus, just listening to him talk. I mean, he's been through a lot of experiences. He's had some really high moments. He's had some challenging times that he's had to work through, and just the maturity of who he is. The person, the character, the desire to be a part of something even bigger than himself. I think this has a chance to be just a special fit. And, for what his ability shows on the field, I mean, he's got unbelievable arm strength. He can, really, he's played in so many games. He's got a confidence about himself, but, he also is just, very competitive. And, to be able to jump into the offense, the guys in that quarterback room with like Brock Glenn, with Luke, with Trevor, our freshman, I mean, those guys are really, he provides, experience that I think can really, pass along to those guys. But really helping push everybody to improve and get better. And I'm excited about what this year can be for him.
Matt, before you, I see you over there shaking your head. But you know what it sounds like? When you go out and someone say, "Hey, man, how does she look?" Man, she had a great personality.
He's trying to prop him up, man.
If you slow down that dictation and put a little Cajun drawl to it, my God, it's the same thing, exact same thing Billy Napier was saying about Graham Mertz last year. Well, he started 36 games, got a lot of starts under him. You've seen everything.
He's got a ton of experience.
I mean, nowhere in there was it, my God, can he throw a deep ball? Or he can make every throw, and he's playing at an elite level. You don't hear any of that.
No, I think what you're doing is you're trying to build – you got this guy, right? He's a new piece of clay for you. And Give Mike Norvell credit.
Oh, yeah. He's
like,
got a much better track record of developing quarterbacks than Billy Napier does.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying give him credit because he basically – this is a new piece of clay to him, and he did develop Jordan Travis to where he was a better decision maker, better thrower, knew when to run, knew when not to run, knew when to hang in the pocket, all that stuff that over a 2-year period of Norvell being with Jordan Travis, he definitely succeeded.
Well, here's a big question, though, Matt. I mean, is DJ – I mean, Jordan Travis was the type of guy you had the game plan against because not only was he dynamic with the ball down the field with his arm strength to be able to decipher defenses, but his breakaway speed, if he ran the ball, he gonna get you 10, 15, 20 out.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Oh, okay. All right. Not this guy's not that guy.
No, he's just a plotter. I mean, he can run zone read stuff, but he's tough to bring down.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even Tebow because Tebow ran better than he runs, but it's similar
to
a Tebow type where he's not going to be dynamic as a runner, but he's going to push the pile.
Yeah, Timmy was dynamic as a runner, though. He definitely.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, DJ's just a pile pusher,
mm-hmm.
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
You did run quarterback power all day. When you
like I tried to throw him in the KJ Jefferson camp, and Matt pushed back on that.
KJ's much more dynamic.
And I do agree with you. I just feel like DJ, he needs to realize that he can be that guy. That he's not fast and fleet of foot, but he can move. It's like Drake May. You put tape in on Drake May, he can look like a giraffe, and then all of a sudden you let him go and he starts to see the open field, and he looks a little quicker than a giraffe. He ain't an antelope, but he looks a little quicker. Mm-hmm. And so that's where DJ's got to figure it out. Like when I see something, I can turn on my jets. I'm still a big man. I can knock somebody over, but I can also make them miss.
But I also will say this, too.
Because they're afraid to tackle him, too.
If they get the DJ of his freshman season, the kid that went into South Bend and played like he played, and again, he played with a very good cast of players around him. There's no doubt about that. But Florida State's got a very good cast of players around him, too.
Yeah, that type of guy.
So if he can be that type of guy, then I think Florida State's got something. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. All right. We will wrap our show up. Get ready for the Frangie Show coming up at 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's XL Primetime. Back to some of your thoughts as far as the draft class, the first 3 picks, the most important picks for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Where should they be focusing? We'll hit some of those suggestions coming up.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Hello, you're on the air.
1010XL has a new lineup.
Here we go.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser. Mornings. Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. 10 to noon. Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl. Noon to 2. Joe C., Matt Hayes, and Leon. 2 to 4. Frank Frangie and Hayes Carline. 4 to 6. And Baloo and Hacker in the evening.
Flip a dial. Instant entertainment.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all. Selling or pawning, get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Doc Rooter is a full-service plumbing company that's locally owned and operated, fully licensed and insured. We'll be at your home in a timely manner, provide honest pricing, and ensure the job is completed correctly, or we'll make it right. Doc Rooter can handle all plumbing jobs, including repairing broken pipes, clearing clogged drains, to installing new fixtures, water heaters, garbage disposals, and full repipes for older homes. If you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carline from MyBookie. If you're still in the hunt for a sports book to call home, bet the nonstop action of the madness with MyBookie. MyBookie is a one-stop shop for all your sports betting and casino needs, complete with a real-life Vegas experience right from the comfort of your phone. Take your viewing experience to the next level with real-time live betting that lets you stream and bet the games right from the MyBookie website. Sign up now and take advantage of a generous welcome bonus on your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Put in $200, get $300 ready to play instantly using promo code 1010XL. And the fun doesn't stop there. You'll get up-to-the-minute odds, props, and this week's expert predictions to help you decide who to put your money on. The best part about MyBookie, you can bet on anything, anytime, from anywhere. Use promo code 1010XL to secure your welcome bonus today, only with MyBookie.
They said it couldn't be done. They said it was impossible. But mark my words, I did it. With Kohl's. That's right. I got everything I needed for my spring home refresh in one trip. I'm talking Sonoma Goods for Life bedding for 20% off. And Espresso Virtual Plus Deluxe for 30% off. Cuisinart cookware sets for 35% off. And Sonoma Goods for Life decor for 20% off. So if you want to get set for the season and save big, you can do it all at Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Espresso and Cuisinart. Coupons do not apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 2nd, 2003, Alex Rodriguez becomes the youngest MLB player to hit 300 home runs at 27 years old while on the Texas Rangers.
David Lane here again for Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. After several surgeries for age-old issues, mainly my back and shoulders, there's no doubt that Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is my sustaining resource for living pain-free. Take it from me, and I'm being really honest here, there's no better orthopedic facility here in Jacksonville.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Bet on the ball game. Get your money down. Money lines, totals, and parlays. We're cashing tickets all around.
It's baseball betting season, and VSiN's MLB betting guide is a home run for bettors. Download your free special edition of the guide, featuring a betting preview of the Atlanta Braves and Tampa Bay Rays at 1010XL.com. That's 1010XL.com.
Let's go! It's time for opening night, so don't you dare miss the Jacksonville Sharks' first home game against the IFL defending champions, the Bay Area Panthers, Saturday, April 6th at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Kickoff 7 o'clock. Let's go! Tickets as low as $15. You can't find Saturday family, affordable fun anywhere else. Call 904-621-0700 or go to jacksharks.com. Dust off your boots, grab your cowboy hat for Western night. Join us at 5 p.m. for Shark Fest, every home game located outside the arena for our pre-game party. Help us rock the take as we roll out the 2023 NAL Championship banner. Let's go! Don't miss our opening game. It's this Saturday, April 6th, 7 o'clock. Let's show them what Jax is bringing to the table at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Be a part of indoor football fun and exciting, non-stop action. For tickets as low as $15, call 904-621-0700. Don't forget your cowboy hats. Let's go! Let's go!
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
This one's knocked up. Bowers tips it to himself, and he'll score. Touchdown, Georgia.
Well, that guy in the red and black, well, he terrorized a lot of SEC defenses. There is no doubt. As soon as he came from the wine country to the SEC, he had the rest of the SEC whining. That's basically how it went down. He had them whining. And so,
wine country. I think he's from Orange County. He's not from wine country.
He's from the wine country, bro. Go check it out.
He's from the wine country.
Yeah, he's up there in the Napa area. He's a vineyard
Is he?
man.
I thought he was from Orange County.
No, he's a vineyard man. He's
All right.
sucking grapes and stomping on them and cabbing it up and Shirazing it up. And so the texter says, if Bowers is there at 17 and the Jags don't take him, they're idiots.
Yeah, Napa. You're right.
Napa. Yeah,
You're
exactly. He's Pro Bowler immediately. So let's answer this question before we are done. While I see that skill set, he does look like he could be just terrorizing defenses.
I see it.
I
worry about his ability to block. And again, do you care? Because Evan Ingram's not the best blocker, but he's a fantastic
Evan Ingram ain't the biggest
receiver.
cat either.
Right, he's a fantastic receiver. So I don't know if that's the issue. I just don't know that you can do that if you're this team. I don't think you can.
Okay,
you have
so
bigger issues.
I don't understand that. I don't think you can. What does that mean, though?
They need a corner, man. They need an edge.
But Brock Bowers. Listen. First of all, I had a dynamic tight end on what I played with, right? Named Pete Mitchell, right? Pete Mitchell was not known to be blocked. I told Pete, don't worry about blocking.
Right.
Go catch some balls.
Right. I agree. Evan Ingram's that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the question you got to answer, and this is what we talk about. This is the fight. You get to 17, and you say, well, wait a dang minute. That's the best player available. We've got to take him. That's the BPA right there.
He's got one
Brock
of the best
Bowers.
top 3 or 4 tight ends in the league right now.
Yeah, I know. So that's what I'm
5
saying.
tight ends.
This is the fight. This is the fight, Leon. That's the BPA. That guy is smacking us right in the face. He is the best player available. You got to take me, right? And then the other half of it is what we're talking about. Evan Ingram's already here, like Matt's saying.
True.
And Evan Ingram had a balling season.
He's a dog,
he did.
man.
He is absolute dog. But
And so
not
then-
taking him, you know what that does? That means the team that gets him behind us is going to abuse us with it. That's just our
All
luck.
right.
You know
Well,
it.
what if you get a corner that gets you 6 picks in his rookie season?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And so that's what you got to fight, honestly.
Right.
Right, or what if you get an edge that gets you 9.5, 10 sacks in his rookie season?
Sounds good. Absolutely.
Which would you rather have?
I don't know.
Would
All
you
the
rather
gifts,
have a
all the
lockdown
gifts are
corner?
good. All the gifts are good.
They are. A day 1 pick,
Mm-hmm.
a day 1 starter, lockdown corner,
Mm-hmm.
a critical edge guy, your number 3 edge guy that gets you 10 sacks, or would you rather have Brock Bowers?
How many touchdowns? You see in your narrative, you didn't say how many touchdowns.
Right,
Brock
because I'm
had.
not because
Okay, so let's
the
do this.
idea is it's Brock Bowers.
Let's say Brock gives you 10 touchdowns. Then who you want then?
So let's just do this, okay?
You don't
let's just do this.
I want the corner with 6 picks.
Let's just
actually,
take.
No, you don't. You want touchdowns.
Let's just take.
Well, I want Cooper Beebe.
Quinyon Mitchell. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Quinyon Mitchell regarded as the best corner, right?
Yep, yes.
Quinyon, Jared Verse, Brock Bowers. They're all sitting there.
They're all there.
They're all there.
That's edge, tight end, corner.
Two of those three are more than likely going to be there.
Yeah, Brock probably won't be there.
I just say.
I think you should change to Terrion Arnold.
Well, I was going to, and you know what I decided to do?
You make it tougher.
Best corner.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Best corner, at least according to draft analysts, the mockers.
Wow.
That makes it tough.
That is tough.
That might be our question tomorrow.
Taking the corner?
I take the corner, yeah.
Yeah.
But Brock gives you 10 touchdowns. You taking the corner. Only gives you 6 interceptions.
Bro, they need a corner.
Yeah, they true.
So that's
Jared
it.
Verse gives us 10 sacks. Brock gives you 10 touchdowns, and Quavon gives you 6 picks. You're going with.
Are you
Quavon.
not tired of seeing receivers running free in that secondary?
I am.
And they are, man. They have it.
They need
They're
a
living
corner,
back there.
man.
Yeah, that's true.
They're living like one guy says, not sold on both lines magically being fixed. For me, it's line help and corner, and I totally get it because what Matt just said is 100% is that this team gave up too many big plays or first down plays.
I'm tired.
Move the chains play.
But see, this is what scares me about it. You remember a couple of years ago, we took a guy named Chase on. A couple of picks later, Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson went off the board. The next pick.
Yeah,
Almost
we
positive
can do
the
that
next
every
pick.
draft, though, man.
I'm not worried about every draft. I'm talking about the fact that we gave up. We could have got Justin Jefferson.
I don't disagree. All I'm saying is
all you had to do was flip. Instead of getting Calevon and Visca, you could have gotten Justin, and I'm trying to remember who the Russian was.
They
It was
could
right
have
there.
gotten Mahomes too. They could have gotten Lamar Jackson. We can't go down that road. That road's fraught with just landmines everywhere. You know that. So all I'm saying is I'm tired of seeing guys running around free in the secondary. That's number one. Number two, I'm tired of seeing Trevor not being able to step up and throw the ball and think he's going to hit his hand on one of those helmets and that's going to break his hand and he's going to be the end of his season. I can't see that anymore.
Yeah.
That's got to be the fix. The fix has to be corner. The fix has to be interior line.
And you're neither one of you are wrong in the simple fact that they got to get it right. Okay, like what ifs will drive you nuts, but you've got to do your job scouting and make sure that you know which one of these guys translates. That's why teams like teams you played for and guys you played under, they knew. They could see it in a player. They drafted well. They were smart. They developed well. They knew how to get the most out of guys. And this football team's been fighting that for a while. And so they obviously, it's the old line, it's better to be lucky than good. You got to have a little luck on your side to decide between that killer tight end, that shutdown corner, that edge guy that may be, here for a decade.
Right, but like on the text line, they're like, one more touchdown per game. Who doesn't want that? All right, how about one less touchdown per game given up by your defense?
Right.
Because you've got a shutdown corner.
Yeah,
There's two ways to look at it.
Yeah, it really is. If you take a look at the basically the stats this team had in terms of from 22 to 23, the uptick that they were expecting in offense, they generally did not get. And then they started to give up more points than they gave up the year before. You could look at the numbers. They sagged mightily on that side of the football. And so that's why we're thinking that they can't ignore that guy. Now you say, wait a minute. You went out and got Darby. You got Tyson. What makes you think you need to get another guy? You got another guy already plugged in to either be your nickel in Savage or Antonio Johnson. Come on. They've done enough. Now let's start looking at that dynamic playmaker that you're talking about. Going to be tough.
I mean, High Tide and Southside makes a great point. Would you rather have Jefferson or Patrick Surtain? That's a tough call. Probably Jefferson. But Surtain you're talking about an elite corner, man.
Yeah, it goes back to what we talked about before, and Coach laid it out pretty well, is that the cornerback can have a 6-pick season, a 2-pick season, come back with a 5-pick season. They're all good seasons. He shut down a lot of guys.
Right.
But meanwhile, that receiver, like Justin
he can't
Jefferson,
go 80 picks, 30 picks, 80.
Play
right.
after play after play after play. And he's the one that helps you add points to your scoreboard more than maybe we realize keep the other team from adding points to their scoreboard. Because that cornerback is locking down one side. And, heck, a receiver may only be involved in 6 to 10 plays in a game, maybe, right? He might get 10 targets, 6 catches.
Yeah.
In some cases, maybe a little bit higher than that. But those are big plays. If they're done, if you have Justin Jefferson that you're throwing the football to, those guys, they get you down the field. They put you in the end zone. And that's
Sam
the one.
Laporta or Sauce Gardner? Right. Well, that's what.
Okay, but Sauce went 4th overall. Sam Laporta went in the second round.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They were about 30, 35 picks apart. But Laporta, as soon as he stepped on an NFL football field, he's like, just throw me the ball.
Yeah.
I will be open. I will work any zone or any guy and break free, and you're going to be able to throw me the football. And so I don't think Brock Bowers is the same body type and physical like Sam Laporta.
No.
Okay, and so
not even close to being the same.
Okay, but is he more Evan Ingram? Is he more Sam Laporta? Or is he caught in the middle? I don't know.
I think he's more Evan Ingram / Kyle Pitts than he is.
Yeah, he does look like that. But think about this. Kyle Pitts was the highest tight end ever drafted, and they just haven't really feasted with him up in Atlanta the way they'd like to.
I mean, look at the quarterback.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, I know. But before they didn't have a quarterback. Okay, well, this was just Desmond Ridder last year.
Now they do, baby.
Yeah, now we'll find
wait
out.
and see what Kyle Pitts does.
Yeah, Kirk is going to be loving that. That's for sure. All right, we are done. Our show is over. We want to say thanks to Beaver Chevy, Beaver Toyota. Make sure you line up with them when you're looking at luxury, affordability, practicality, whatever it might be. We're talking SUVs, pickups, beautiful sedans. You name it, they've got them on both lots. Chevy lineup strong. Toyota lineup strong. BeaverToyotaStAugustine.com and BeaverChevrolet.com. They are there to wow you. They definitely will take care of you. Now, this guy's going to take care of you as we get ready for the Frangie Show. RJ from Open Gym, you've got a pair of tickets that you're going to give away. Give them away right now.
Pair of tickets to the Chicago Bulls game, the Orlando Magic taking on the Chicago Bulls on the 7th. Be caller number 1, and those tickets are yours.
All right, 641-1010. RJ will hook you up. We will talk to you mañana. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy. You guys have a great afternoon.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 10.